Hello, everyone. I titled this Evil Worldwide Has Been Defeated because it is a fact and it is a truth, even though you may look around the world and say or feel that is not the case. What I wish to say, it is the case. You just need to change your perspective and you will see what is occurring. And with that, this great awakening is not occurring by chance. It is a very important reason for it and a divine reason. And evil around the world has been defeated. And it's very simply a choice. So on the individual level, everyone that's awakened at least to high enough degrees to understand what is going on within them, to go through their purification process to uplift them and empower them, knows that everything has been occurring for a very important divine reason. So we are still on our way, at getting more in alignment worldwide and awakened to the degree to actually know that, yes, the evil is defeated. And one of the reasons they are defeated is because the GPMS solution is here upon the planet. It is the ultimate solution, and it is the ultimate power for the people to take control of everything upon the planet and do what is right. And because of what GPMS is, where it activates the unlimited intrinsic value of every individual and turns that into a money that is made out of thin air, then no longer the individual is controlled by that outside evil. And it's very important for everyone to know that, if you will, GPMS is the death throw to the evil, that they are finished. And as we go forward, the ones that are consenting and agreeing to the new world on our website, it's over 26,000 now. And we have from India and Peru right at this time, many are joining. And what is necessary around the world, as many of you are seeing, is that the ones that are not making the choices to create the new world and are in their areas of extreme hardship, it's getting harder and what have you. Well, these ones are being pressured to make the choice to join with the people to create the new world. So it is a truly divine thing what's occurring. It is taking, let's say, a little bit longer in linear time, but when we look at that we exist for all time and what has been covered in the last couple years, this is a huge leap. It is a flash that we are in, and it is inevitable that the divine plan, what is contained within GPMS and what GPMS is, it is inevitable that that comes to rapid and quick fruition for the people worldwide. One of the things you may wish to look at, that you're actually in hell now, and to see the evil, because in hell is the only place where demons can exist in the true evil. So what's occurring is all of us are that are awakened, that are the divine ones, is lifting humanity out of hell, if you will. This is the Ascension. And during the course of doing that, there is the individual purification, but also the planet purification to lift it up out of the hell, if you will. And So that is one way to look at it, and everyone, has to change their ways and be good and do everything that is morally and ethically and righteously correct, if you will, and be humane, at least share and not allow nor condone for the suffering to continue. It's so senseless, and it is preposterous when you can see that a whole world is controlled by money to put them into misery, when very simply the opposite can be and will be true, that money can be used as a good tool to uplift everyone and place everyone in abundance. It's that easy. And the divine plan of GPMS, if let's say the so-called world leaders or governments today, if they actually had humanity's best interest in mind, they could do in 2 days, what we're doing, a worldwide referendum that collects the majority voice. This is what GPMS is doing with a solid all-inclusive platform, what is on the website, gpms.world. It makes it the most blatant, obvious choice for anyone to support and register their vote. What GPMS is to everyone, and even some, it's your lifetime lottery, if you will. You are absolutely rich. You are rich inside and outside as well for what it does. So with 85% of the planet, in poverty, once they see GPMS, and they will see and they know that it is the ultimate choice, and that it's not a fantasy. I hear some saying about a word that it airy fairy, no, GPMS is none of that. And one of the reasons why it isn't, when you go to the website, you can see the actual souls, the people that are creating this. So it's tangible. It's not just something that's out there floating like a Jacera or something with no actual backing by the people. So this is the people, what GPMS is, and the people upon the planet are the majority, the souls, and so the evil, I wish to say why the evil is defeated. Many of you might know about the bankers and what was occurring in the world. Many of you know of JFK, where he was one of the first world leaders, to let everyone know that there was an actual organized evil on the planet. And that set off, and it also was instrumental for this now. And what JFK attempted back then was within America, if you will, to free it in a new currency. But what occurred, it's because it was only one country, and it cannot be done because the evil is worldwide. So the most obvious and common sense and logical solution, what we are doing now worldwide, is you gather the people worldwide, and no longer is any of the countries, the separate governments, no longer are they supported by the people. Then fully the evil is defeated, and they are defeated in such a way that once we have the majority, no one is dependent upon their money and the way they controlled it to control humanity, to keep you in misery and separation and despair and, of course, poverty and starvation. So, it began there, let's say, more notably with JFK. However, if we go back thousands of years, it was also written, this great time that we were in, and that this would occur. So many also, when they take a moment to stop and see what is going on in the world, and those numbers are around 77% at least are knowledgeable that this sort of time would come. They just need to identify that this is the time, and we are truly in it, the great time of transition. So at this point, evil has no power. And one of the reasons is because what we did with the worldwide bankers and the governments that controlled ones, what we actually did is by GPMS activating the intrinsic worth and value of every individual and combining them together as a majority worldwide and create the people's money and distribute and share it equally. And then the evil, no one is going to choose the evil money for what GPMS is. It cannot be competed with by the evil. So the evil is constantly imploding, losing its support, and very soon, poof, it'll be gone, and all of you will be advanced out of hell, if you will, ascended into the heaven on earth scenario. So by taking away the evil's main tool of control, money and the worldwide internet and media, by taking these away, the control away from them, they have lost. And this is what we are doing worldwide. So it's only a short matter of time, if you will, before this is done and everyone is set free, and you don't need to incur the senseless inflation. And when we look at America, the cost of your rent up like some places triple. All of these capitalistic and selfish things are not part of the new. But all of these selfish things and all of the hardships are necessary at this time to make ones, to really stop and look at the situation, look at what they supported within their society and how it's really inhumane and savage. So they need to experience and see this so that they can choose the new world, the new creation. Because within the old world, ones that had become complacent and allowing for governments and world leaders to control money, to kill many through starving them and other things worldwide, no longer will that be acceptable, nor condoned, nor supported by anyone. So you're witnessing this now upon the planet, that rapid destruction of the evil regime. And so we are acting out the roles here upon the planet to take the ascension to full fruition. And I'm so grateful that lately with GPMS we are beginning to see some more of the light leaders now that are prepared for this time coming to the table. Over the last couple weeks, we have spoken with perhaps 7 or more new ones, and with one of these enlightened light leaders, we are all here prepared for this time. So you may say I said 7 or so over the last 2 weeks. But that is very significant when you have the right light leaders. They influence millions, hundreds of millions. So you can see the coverage with that and why it is substantial. So we are doing great. We're still going forward with everything at a steady pace. We loved for it to be done very quickly, and what we say on the website, and what I state constantly, GPMS will be done instantly and imminently, and it is already on its way to free the entire planet. So, it's important for everyone to recognize the true power of the united people worldwide. When you have 6 billion people worldwide united with the concrete platform of GPMS, it's all over the old, and everyone is happy, financially stress-free forever, in total places of comfort. Villages in Africa, as an example, will have instantly everything that they need, all of the water. All around the world, all of the children are saved instantly once this comes to fruition. As I said before, approximately 15,000 children die daily. That number is high now. That's a number from a couple years ago. So because of the last couple years and the extreme hardship imposed upon the planet, these numbers of children probably up to 22,000 a day, and just from starvation alone all around the planet. Like, it's absolute savage. And when you look at humanity as a whole, that is dying from starvation each day around the planet, it's probably up over 30,000 when you have the adults a day, which can be prevented just by the good use of money. And this is where it gets totally savage and ridiculous that governments, they just create money out of thin air, and bankers, and why they do this and not allow for ones to have enough food and deprive them. That is the evil, and that is the savagery. And so GPMS is the full solution to place everyone in a humane environment upon the planet, and in a happy place, in a fully secure place. So we're doing this as each one chooses. And I see ones that are, you see the selfish content within ones, yet where, they say, I'm okay, I got everything I need, and I'm fine, perhaps they're in places of good comfort. But it's that selfishness that they have within them, not thinking about the rest of the world, and not thinking how they're in a comfortable place, that they're actually condoning and supporting what the governments and things have been doing with the control of money. So, indirectly, they are also allowing for the evil to exist. And these ones also divinely will be taken into places where they will begin to reconsider how they think, how they act, and what they do. And in these times, nothing can go against the divine plan. Everything is assured, and everyone is at the mercy of the divine plan that takes everyone to the heaven on earth scenario. So during the course of that, many of these in places of comfort, if it is needed, will be relieved of all of their wealth, to just make them see what is the most moral and ethical thing to do, of which one of those things is sharing, which is so important, and also to have the compassion and consideration for their fellow human souls. So everything is divinely assured. It's happening rapidly, as all of you know. And we don't put a linear time on it, how quick it happens. We know it's imminent, it's inevitable. But what we do say is that we don't put a linear time on how long it takes for GPMS right here and where we're at here. We don't put a linear time because it depends on all of the human souls, what they do now until the time of inception. The more that ones want it and are active and proactive at letting other ones see it, then this is shortened, the duration. So there are variables with this, and it depends on, the ones that are upon the planet. This depends mainly upon the awakened ones that, are upon the planet, know they're here for a reason, know they have a mission, and know that mission is, if you will, to break the chains, to create break the chains of slavery, to create the new reality. And when we have all of those coming together and knowing what their divine priority is in the actual mission, then things occur, much quicker. You have many influencers, awakened divine ones, that are influential on the social medias with huge followings and what have you. And it is, and I will say this, these ones at some point will be divinely obligated as well to share GPMS and to participate in getting that spread out to collect this worldwide voice. For this worldwide voice is also an energetic value that also what it does, it destructs the opposite, which is the negative world. So the quicker the voice is collected, and because of many powerful co-creators in this voice, it gets done very quick as well. So there are many awakened divine ones that are not, if you will, come to the table of GPMS yet, and to recognize that it is the actual divine deliverance. But when they do all come, which could be at any moment, as I said, we're seeing them starting to trickle in. This will be all over very rapidly. So what you do between now and inception, many are working on different ways of taking, let's say, humanitarian projects and what have you forward. These are all important, but the most important thing also while you're taking your projects forward is also get your foot in and spread GPMS, because what GPMS is, it is the final thing and it is the full thing that funds all of your projects. So it becomes really senseless if you just keep working on the projects while the old evil controls all of the money and what have you, that prolongs your project coming to fruition, when you quickly do the one thing and become the part of GPMS that instantly breaks that control of the evil, and all of your beautiful projects come to instant fruition, because the money is no limit. As I said, we create unlimitedly, and we're just using money as a transitionary tool, but we're using it all for the good to liberate everyone. So we truly have flipped the tables on the evil. It has been done. And we're just going through the process to finish that as soon as everyone everyone supports on the planet the GPMS to take it to fruition. So, I was just a little ramble, if you will, and letting everyone know it's okay, but also everyone needs to make a choice and to recognize that the true ascension, the true salvation, the true deliverance, it's already upon the planet, and it's so easy for everyone to make the choice to get into alignment with it. One doesn't even need to be awakened. So divinely, we made it so simple that even if you're not awakened, by looking at GPMS and looking at what it's offering you, it is like a simple petition that ones would sign. Do you support this? So it can be done in a matter of minutes. And I kind of chuckled to myself in the past. I've given it to certain ones that would say, "Oh, I don't have time now. I need to work." For my family, and it only takes a half an hour or even less to look at the website, and it's the one thing that frees them forever from having to work. But that's the way, that it is. So we give it to everyone, and it's a simple and most obvious solution with it. So the evil no longer has any control. The people actually have the power. They just need to unite with the GPMS vehicle. Once a majority is there, united with it, it's all done. But during the course of getting to the majority, there are paradigm shifts all along the way that are created. Thailand is the perfect example. They are the peers in knowing what GPMS is and consenting. And within Thailand, there's a paradigm shift that has already occurred. Conscious upward shift. Huge community there of over 18,000 GPMS members. They are now all beginning to trade among themselves and to support each other instead of relying on outside sources. So they have more of a group, and with this group, because it's 18,000 members or what have you, I would say they have all the products, everything they need, and it's at reasonable prices and also at free prices where ones are sharing the access. These are organic farmers and all in the natural alignment, and for what they're doing, the access, they're sharing with each other. So it's very beautiful, and I could speak, of course, of a lot what the Thailand team has been doing. But having said that, GPMS, we're set up on Telegram, and we have country teams. There's relatively few country teams yet. We're still in the process of getting more formed, and the country teams are the ones that are gathering the leaders within their countries, their representatives, and comprising the teams at getting the GPMS word and website out there. So we gather the voices, because the priority right now, before anything can be done, the support has to be collected, and that is the voice, because that's what supports the new reality. GPMS in your new reality doesn't occur if it is not foundationed and supported by the majority of the planet. But it is simple and it is easy, and we do get it done. As we said, when any looks at GPMS, it's irresistible, and one does not even have to be awake to just say, "Yeah, I support that." I'm going to register my support with it, and because it's not only is it for the individual, it's for everyone upon the planet. That takes them all out of the senseless suffering that was imposed upon them. So this is like, you could also say it's a free ticket to get out of hell, if you will, because that's what it is and what occurs. It takes the planet out of that ridiculous hell-like scenario and puts it into the heaven on earth scenario, where everything is great and humane. So we're doing it, and having said that, I'm doing this on my phone. I see comments, and I didn't look at, any questions on there. But with that, one of the beautiful highlights of GPMS, upon inception, right at this time, if it needs to go higher, every child, woman, and man upon the planet, upon inception of GPMS, after we have the majority voice, is everyone gets an instant initial payment of around 20,000 US equivalent, or whatever the highest currency is at the time of GPMS. So every child gets $20,000. Boom. Every man, every woman. And this is why poverty is eradicated instantly worldwide. This is what actually saves your children, all of them and more. It saves everyone. And with that, each month thereafter, these are guidelines. We're saying about 10,000 each month thereafter. And with it comes a fraction of hours, for one to be responsible to the worldwide community and their self. We still need to have the essential goods and services like, food. So you need to keep that things going. So ones need to contribute and participate. But the beauty is it's only a fraction of hours to do it. And also the entire financial sector, what you have here now, it's no longer needed, all the investment markets and all of this. And it is the world's biggest employer, I believe, with over $1 billion, when you no longer need that to run the GPMS. Then you have a huge workforce there that comes in to share with the essential goods and services. And this is why your hours for everyone is only a fraction. Maybe you might only have to work 10 hours a week, maybe only 4. Because you also have within the governments and bureaucracies and militaries, you have militaries will no longer be needed because there is no longer evil that invokes the wars, and there is no more reason for anyone to fight when everyone has everything and everything is shared. So you don't need military for countries and that sort of ridiculous thing. So then you have another huge contribution from the worldwide militaries, assisting in the essential goods and services. So your workforce is huge, and it equates into one's no longer needing to work long hours, put your children at daycare, the mother and father both working. The family unit, was not really a family anymore because of what happened with society. Well, this all changes then, and it brings the family units back together. It brings harmony back together in the world and within the families, and it's a beautiful thing. And at the time of inception, when everyone receives, your initial 20,000 US equivalent payment, at that same time, all essential goods and services worldwide are fully funded, also with unlimited money, to keep them operating, all of the logistics with your food, having it transported, all of this is instantly funded. But also, one of the reasons why a rapid deflation worldwide occurs as soon as we have an inception of GPMS is because technically and lawfully all of us are shareholders of the entire world infrastructure. And because of this, what occurs, it means that the essential goods and services, like let's say presently with your fuel, gas in your vehicle, you're actually an owner. So then gas, if you will, becomes free. But of course, there's a lot of technology that you don't even need gas or fossil fuels anymore. But that all becomes free because you are an owner of that, and it doesn't make sense that you pay yourself. So there is no privatization with all of this. For everyone, all of the shareholders, each one of you, all contribute in some way to build all of this infrastructure for society. And when the majority shareholders vote, which is what's occurring upon the planet, to do it GPMS way, then all of your essential goods and services become very cheap or free, and this causes worldwide deflation. And also, there are no more wages. This is also, it's reflected directly in your prices. There is no more wages, for every individual is paid by theirself. So as a result of that, you don't have jacked up prices of things that factor in expenditures like payroll and wages. None of that is in the price. It doesn't need to be. So, boom, your prices instantly for everything begins to drop as well. So, one of the age-old puzzles economists had that said deflation could not occur, if you will, and that there was no cure for inflation. It's just that they did not know of the GPMS solution and the full way of how to do it. So what GPMS does with present economics is very quickly pushes it to a super economics, and then right out of economics altogether as it transitions. So as I mentioned in the past, we had anticipated we'd be speaking several months or a year ago with a panel of 10 economists. They didn't show up yet, but when the divine timing is here, and we will give the simplicity of GPMS to them as well for the world if it needs to be done. But we don't need all of these economists and what have you to do what GPMS is. Within the voice that's collected, you have all of the skill set and all of the knowledge to do what GPMS is doing very quickly and very simply. And I'd like to say worldwide that you might only need 50 or 100 or 1,000 managing and distributing the funds for everyone. So it's relatively simple with the financial routing system already in place. You don't need to create any new system. Everything is here. You just take down all the encryption gates of the various banks and governments, and once you open that distribution network up where there's no longer gates and backdoor ledgers and accounts, none of that exists. You just use the existing network of all free flow disbursement of funds everywhere worldwide to every individual. And in areas, let's say, where someone doesn't have a card or what have you, there will be volunteers that will go in and assure they have everything until the technology is placed all around the planet that gives everyone the free access to whatever they need to be in full comfort. So the entire plan, for the entire society, civilization of the planet is very simple, and for the most part, it's contained in the GPMS. We don't need to detail any specifics, or we don't need to detail it, for everyone already knows what everyone wants and what's the simple ways to administer things. So within the voice, as you keep collecting it, you're also collecting your committees in geographical areas, administrative committees that know what everyone needs, what everyone wants to make things so simple, comfortable, and easy. So these are organically created as you gather the voice, and the teams are created organically. It naturally occurs. And so, even before we get to inception, all of the infrastructure to support GPMS, when we bring it in, it's already created along the way, and it's already beginning to create now. As I said, when we use Thailand as an example, they have their administrative people, they have the big community. It has formed on its own, and everyone knows what they wish to do, more or less, in the GPMS Thailand community. So that had also created the paradigm shift. So it's inevitable with GPMS. The evil, the darkness has lost. We're just playing out these roles to the rapid realization for all that they did lose, and that the light has won, if you will, but we're making it a matter of choice upon the planet while everyone, is in your physical form, because this is what creates it. So, yeah. So they lost. You just got to know that GPMS exists and what it is, and then it becomes very blatant that the old game is over. Fighting against cabal or darkness or what have you, or fighting against the evil factions, that it's really all over once you stop fighting and just unite and do what we're doing. Nothing can go against the majority of the people worldwide united as one voice with the platform of GPMS, where it's all inclusive and the most humane thing ever. So it's ridiculous to think that anyone would ever oppose it, and the concept is quite simple. So yeah, the game is over. Once, let's say in the U.S., that they stop fighting within the government and trying to take control of something like that, while here's the governments, they're down there fighting, trying to get back in power, like for the people, when really GPMS is the universal solution, and it makes more sense. Stop fighting the evil and the darkness here, where you just overpower them by uniting everyone worldwide. Then this little bit of the darkness is no longer supported. You need to know that this little bit of the darkness only comprises less than 1% of the population on the planet. So it is ridiculous with one's not focusing on uniting the full support and documented support of the people, and just override and overpower it. So it's ridiculous that ones keep fighting like that. And with many of the freedom movements around the world, ones with good intent still trying the politics, it won't work, because the politics and the structure it's all evil. It's designed that way to control people, so it doesn't work, and it's senseless to try to get in there into governments to get the solution, because the solution is not in there. That is the actual problem. The solution is to create the new. So it's pretty simple. Once you have all fighting, uh, once they stop fighting the old and stop recognizing the old governments as an authority and recognize they are the authority and they are the power, it's all done. So it's like, in The Wizard of Oz with Dorothy, she had the power all along to go home. She just didn't know it and didn't see it. So what I'm saying now, we all have the power to go home, and I'm letting you know what the power is that has defeated the evil. And it's a GPMS.world. You have a choice to be a part of it, or you could stay in the misery and prolong what's occurring with it. But it's divinely assured that ones don't stay in the misery very long before they know and they see individually they need to make a choice for what is morally and ethically right, what is correct, and what is humane. So it's all divinely set up to this quick and rapid end, if you will, end of the evil, end of the old, while the new is being created at the same time the old is destructing. So you have a choice what side you want to be a part of, the light, new, free, happy world, or if you want to remain in the old and support that and allow it to stay in existence, But we suggest for all, come on, get with it, get up here. This is the new world. You have all the power and you have the full ability right now to create it very quickly. And it becomes ridiculous for ones to remain into a miserable world and to endure more suffering when the absolute ultimate solution is right here. GPMS.world. So, peace. This means unity. This is not a Masonic symbol. This is unity, and this is together. All of us together worldwide get it done. So have an amazing, beautiful morning, day, night, wherever you may be. We got this done. And kisses and much love. Have a beautiful day.